Antonio Brown, officially part of the Buccaneers roster today, activated to the 53-man roster now that his suspension has ended. Remember, he's not out of the woods. He could face further action from the league, or the Buccaneers could cut him based upon how this pending civil lawsuit for sexual assault is resolved. He'd like to get a continuance of a trial that is set for December of this year. That was some documentation that broke overnight. Here's Tom Brady talking to Jim Gray of Westwood One on last night's Monday Night Football pregame show regarding the reality that Antonio Brown has been living at Brady's house.
Antonio's a good friend of mine, and again, we've gotten to know each other pretty well over the years. So he's just getting settled, and I know he's looking for places, but it's just nice to be able to have him around. And, you know, we're getting to work, and he likes to be integrated into what we're doing, and big transition for him moving across the state and really not knowing anyone. So, you know, again, just trying to be a great teammate and help someone out, you know, is a friend of mine.
Yeah, I don't think Tom Brady is such a great teammate that any new arrivals in Tampa Bay can move into the house he's renting from Derek Jeter. This is more than just being a great teammate. There's a relationship there. However it happened, in a short time in New England, Brady and Brown became very, very good friends, and I personally think that this Antonio Brown to Tampa Bay thing was in the works for months. I wouldn't be surprised if Bruce Arians deliberately downplayed it so people wouldn't see it coming. I think Antonio Brown's had the playbook for a long time, and I would guess that he's been staying at Tom Brady's house from time to time for a while now and working out with Tom Brady and getting to know the offense. They've been too strangely tight-lipped about things before his arrival, things that happened before his arrival to make me think otherwise. Now he's officially part of the team, and in 5 nights we get to see what he's going to do in 3 and 4 receiver sets. Mike Evans said last night he looks forward to Antonio Brown drawing double coverages away from him, which is kind of conceding Antonio Brown's better than Mike Evans if he's going to draw double coverage away from Mike Evans. You get both those guys on the field, though, the Saints are going to have a hell of a decision to make if Brown is able to hit the ground running the way that the Buccaneers seem to think he will, Shireen.
Mike, I hope Giselle has made it clear to Antonio Brown that he can't start throwing furniture around the house. You know he's done that.
Fortunately, they're not 14
floors
of that
up. Before.
Yeah, fortunately, it's a low-level house. So he could throw some furniture into the water, right? Make sure no boats are out there when he does it. But at least it's not 14 stories down to the ground level if Antonio Brown gets upset. But yeah, I'm sure that Giselle laying down the law about what Antonio Brown can and can't throw out the window.
And you know what it reminds me of, Mike, is when T.O. accused Jason Witten and Tony Romo of drawing up plays in their hotel room on road games because they did room together on the road. But you know they're drawing up plays. You know they're talking about the game at night when they get home, what they're going to do. And for whatever reason, Tom Brady has just not found that connection with Mike Evans. And we know Mike Evans is one of the best receivers in football, and he had the touchdown last night, but that connection just is not there. So maybe when AB gets there, that connection improves and the chemistry improves between Mike Evans and Tom Brady. But it's not been there so far, and that's unfortunate. And then when they get Chris Godwin back, I mean, heck, who do you double there? That's just a nightmare for defensive coordinators. And I think this offense is just going to – we didn't see it click last night, but I think by the end of the season, if all those guys stay healthy, this is going to be an offense you definitely don't want to play in the playoffs.
But, you know, look at that graphic that we just had. If we can put it back up, Evans gets targeted a lot more and is a lot more productive without Chris Godwin on the field, which makes you wonder whether or not there is that connection between Evans and Brady. And here's the thing. First of all, Mike Evans isn't wired to be like T.O. and complain that he thinks that the quarterback and another receiver are conspiring against him and trying to keep the ball from him. Evans is mature. Evans is positive. Evans isn't selfish. He welcomes Antonio Brown being there. He was interviewed last night by Lisa Salters after the win over the Giants, and he seems genuine. He doesn't seem capable of guile. He's a very what you see is what you get, and I've always liked Mike Evans. He doesn't have a lot to say. If you interview him, you better be ready with another question because you never know if you're just going to get a one-word answer. But I don't have any problem with him causing a ruckus because he thinks, suspects, or concludes that Brady and Brown are working together to come up with ways to get Antonio Brown the football.
Yeah, he would never do that, Mike. And I go way back with Mike Evans to his days at Texas A&M when he was with Johnny and winning Johnny a Heisman, frankly. But he's a great guy, like you said. He's never going to complain about not getting the ball. He's a consummate teammate. He's a good team leader. He's very much better in one-on-ones than he is in a group interview. I know that for sure. But, yeah, he's not going to complain. And I think that's why Bruce Arians and Tom Brady love him so much, is because he doesn't complain about not getting the ball. He's not your diva receiver for sure. But AB, 4 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown the last time he played. That was with Tom Brady in week 2 last year. It's been a long time since we've seen him. I cannot wait for Sunday night. I just think this is going to be fun.
Well, and the last time we saw him play the Saints was his last game with the Steelers, December 2018. Targeted 19 times, 14 catches, 185 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that was the game that saw Juju Smith-Schuster fumble away the ball. The Steelers lost to the Saints 31-28. Smith-Schuster was the GOAT. They got knocked out of the playoffs. 2 days later, the Steelers announced, which no team should do during the season, the Steelers announced that the MVP for the team for 2018 was Juju Smith-Schuster. Antonio Brown got his nose out of joint. Antonio Brown threw the ball at Ben Roethlisberger, reportedly, stormed out, never returned, and that was that for Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh after that great game against the Saints. And the Saints are going to have their hands full. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about this game as the week unfolds. They're going to have their hands full figuring out what to do with Brown and with Mike Evans and Gronk and Chris Godwin if he can play, and Scotty Miller, and good luck trying to slow down that offense. So I think Brown is going to have a big game. I think part of justifying the move to get Brown, the faith in Brown, all the talk about Brown is to use him so everyone will say, well, now we know why you did what you did, because he can come out and produce like he did the last time we saw him with the Steelers.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.